Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So, good morning. Welcome to another market open stream. We have a few minutes before the market bell. A lot to talk about. We have a lot of economic data that's coming out. We also have, of course, more FUD about crypto coming from the SEC and Gary Gensler. And we have to talk about that. What does this mean overall for stablecoins in general? And is anyone going to stand up to the SEC? And of course, let's talk about Bitcoin and everything else we can look forward to. All right, let's get started, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning. 3 minutes before market bell right now. It's kind of mixed. Dow's down, S&P and Nasdaq's up slightly. But the big thing is, well, tomorrow we are going to get another CPI read. But before I get to that, okay, I just want to because I've been tracking this with you guys, but there's been another UFO sighting and another object being shot down. This is like 4 in a row within a week, okay? There's something going on here, okay? Like 1, 2, okay. Coincidence. 3, that's no longer a coincidence. 4 now, right? I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on. At first, I'm like, okay, maybe this is just a distraction. Maybe the U.S. government or governments, I don't know, even the Canadian government wants to use it as an excuse to increase the defense budget or increase budget overall. I don't know. It's getting to a point where it's kind of ridiculous. We're seeing a UFO fly at 20, 30,000, 40,000 feet. So it's not just like an aerial drone. It's not like someone with a GTA Mavic flying it up there. No, we're talking about some serious objects flying at 20, 30, 40,000 feet in the air. And we're shooting it down left and right. They still have not said anything about the first few that they recover from the floor. So where is it coming from? You know, is it really alien in nature? We don't know. Anyways, I just want to bring that up. It's just so much every single day now. But anyways, I was going to get to economic data. We do have a lot of economic data, okay, including a big CPI inflation reading tomorrow. And then outside of that, we have jobless claims and retail sales. But here's the thing. CPI inflation for January is expected to go down. But this is what happened in Switzerland, okay? And yes, it looks very similar to our... Oh, there's the market bell. So it looks very similar as the U.S. inflation kind of trajectory. Not nearly as high because we're in the 6 percentile. We went as high as like 9%, right? But we have been coming down, right? Especially the last few months. So you could see in Switzerland, also same thing after they hit a peak of 3.5, 3.3, 3, 2.8. Seemed like everything was doing good, right? Everything was going according to plan until boom, in January, their inflation shot up to their previous mark from September, right? So this is the fear that the U.S. is going to see something similar, that tomorrow everyone's expecting CPI to come down, and all of a sudden, boom, we get inflation going back up. That would be the worst case scenario. We don't want to see that happen. If we see that happen, that's going to make Powell become very hawkish. In his next FOMC meeting, he's going to restart the counter again, basically, saying, yeah, we had like 5 straight good months. Then we had 1 month that pushed us up, which means that our work is not done and we need to cut rates. I mean, we need to increase rates more. There's going to be no more talk about cutting this year and possibly not even stopping this year. I don't know. It could get really nasty if we get an inflation reading showing that the U.S. inflation went up instead of down, okay? But speculation at this point, maybe it does continue to go down, and then we don't have to worry about it, right? So tomorrow, I guess we'll see. We'll see if we get a good reading or a bad reading. Hopefully it's not bad, because that would be extremely bad for markets. But in the meantime, DXY continues to go up. And whenever the DXY goes up, it's never a good thing for equities, for Bitcoin, for crypto, right? So tomorrow will be a huge, huge inflation reading. We'll see. All right. Now, the other thing, the big thing got to talk about is this continuing FUD, basically caused by the SEC. So, SEC is going to sue Paxos, okay? And Paxos is a stablecoin maker. In case people didn't know, Binance's BUSD is created and minted and basically managed by Paxos. Binance really has nothing to do with it. They just gave the rights to Paxos to do it. So the SEC decided to sue them. And after that, the New York Department of Financial Services also decided to go after them. Okay. Now, what does this mean? This comes right after the SEC attacked staking, right? They went to Kraken. They didn't go to Coinbase. They didn't go to someone else that could actually defend themselves. They went to Kraken because they knew Kraken would fold. And it's the same thing, same playbook. They went to Paxos, okay? They said, basically, people are wondering what reason they gave, but overall, they're trying to declare a stablecoin a security, which there's no way it fits their Howey test because no one buys a stablecoin as an investment because it never goes up. It's at $1. How could it go up? You can't buy it as investment. You're buying a stablecoin for means of transfer or just means of storage of your money in crypto format, but you're not buying stablecoins to make money, right? But it seems like the SEC wants to declare stablecoins as securities. And the reason why they went to Paxos, just like the reason why they went to Kraken, is because Paxos is a smaller company. They know they can force them to comply, right? Keep in mind, Coinbase also works with Circle, and they both jointly support USDC. Why didn't the SEC go after Circle or Coinbase? Because they know that would take much longer. That would take much, much longer, maybe not even possible to shut down. So that's why they decided, again, to go after one of the smaller guys, because it's just much easier to win the case, right? So unfortunately, due to this, Paxos has declared that they will not be minting any more BUSD. So in approximately a week, they will no longer take in money and mint new BUSDs. And they said that they will support BUSD for over a year, at least a year. So they're not just getting rid of it. So there's no mass panic right now in terms of converting BUSD into something else. Binance also said that they will support it themselves for quite some time. There's no really date given in terms of the end date, but CZ of Binance said they will continue to support BUSD indefinitely. Okay, but as for Paxos, they will support BUSD for at least 1 year. So that's the thing. Now you have one of the biggest stable coins out there that is essentially gone. Essentially gone. You're talking about $16 billion worth of BUSD. It's only going to go down from there now. It's not going to go back up. It's not going to go up because it's not going to be minted. So it's going to decrease. But you're talking about, there's only 3 major stablecoins out there. You have USDT, you have USDC, and BUSD. And of course, like I said, SEC wants to go after the smaller guy, Paxos, right? They're not going after Circle. And they can't go after Tether because many people have tried and failed. And Tether's not in the US also. But basically, again, this is an attack on crypto. Now, the good thing is, Coinbase have said that they will fight back. They will fight back. So, I mean, we're just reeling, we're just coming off the last big, news, and that is staking as a service, right? Or just staking in general has been pretty much declared dead by the SEC because of the settlement with Kraken, right? But Brian Armstrong's like, no, that's not the case. No, staking services are not securities. We will happily defend this in court if necessary. And again, if SEC goes after Circle and goes after USDC, I think Brian Armstrong will also defend that too, right? So we definitely have, well, let's just say we're definitely being attacked right now. Okay, Gary is throwing his weight around, and I think he learned from Ripple. You know, he wanted to take down a big boy, right? That's why he went after Ripple. Now he realized that was a mistake. Ripple has plenty of resources. They have spent $100 million, and they are still defending themselves quite well. And in fact, they won all the critical cases so that actually Ripple is in a really good spot to win. So I think Gary and SEC learned that, hey, some of these guys are not going to go away. So rather than attack the big boys, which may take years upon years, and we may get a result that we don't want, let's go after the smaller guys because it's much easier that way. So for sure, they chose Kraken on purpose. Now they chose Paxos on purpose. And that way they could get an easy win and then set a precedent like, okay, this is the way it is, right? But we need more. We need more defense, basically. We need, or maybe not even defense, we need to go on the offense, right? Maybe we need to go after the SEC. But I'm glad to see Brian Armstrong say this. CZ, I hope he could step in, although Binance is not in the U.S., but Binance does have a division, Binance.us, which could also defend themselves quite well, right? Maybe all these companies, maybe Gemini could get involved and Kraken. I mean, maybe all the U.S. exchanges could get together and defend themselves from the SEC collectively rather than individually. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe that could be a thing. I don't know. But this is the latest FUD, around crypto right now. And Gary just seems to be like nonstop attack. It seems like he has all day to just go after crypto companies. I don't even hear him go after any other company. Like, SEC is supposed to be looking at any kind of securities or investments, right? Do you hear anything about any publicly traded companies or ETFs or anything like that out of the SEC? No, you don't hear anything. All the news is around crypto companies. Like, he put 100% of his effort now or attention into crypto. That's it. Maybe because he's so embarrassed by the FTX fiasco. Maybe all the lawmakers are up his ass about why didn't you stop FTX? So now he has to kind of prove himself like, okay, look at me, I'm doing a lot to regulate the industry. Probably. I don't know. But what does this mean overall? Okay, what does it mean? I mean, this is what it means. Okay, all that is happening is going to drive people more to DeFi, decentralized finance, which is a good thing. And it's going to drive all the innovation offshore out of the U.S. That's what it means. And that's not a good thing. U.S., pretty soon we're not going to have any innovation with Web 3.0 or beyond, with ledgers, with wallets, with self-custody, with anything related to crypto because of the SEC. And you don't hear about any other agency. Like the CFTC has not gone after crypto at all, right? In fact, they're trying to take some power away from the SEC, but Gary just wants complete control at this point. But all this means is, you know what? Innovation will just move to other countries. And unfortunately for those of us in the U.S., that's going to suck. But for everywhere else around the world, that's going to be good, right? So two things are happening right now. Big shift towards DeFi and big shift towards other countries. That's what it seems like. Other countries are creating laws and regulations that are favorable to crypto, but not this country because of Gary. This country is on attack, trying to basically control everything and make it so that there's just no innovation anymore. Because anything that's innovation is seen as security. Even stablecoins now. Even stablecoins and native staking, which helps power these ledgers, are all seen as securities. So then how can you ever create anything if everything is declared security? That is what's becoming right now. But you know what? You know what? People are still fed up, right? People are still fed up. Robert Kiyosaki, he paints a gloomy picture almost every single day, but what he said is true. Fed forced to print billions in fake money. Well, actually, you just take that back a few years. You should say trillions in fake money. He makes some predictions about Bitcoin being at 500,000, silver at 5,000, or gold at 5,000, silver at 500, Bitcoin at 50,000, right? People are fed up because, yes, not only is crypto being highly regulated, but mainly because the Fed and the governments around the world and central banks, they just continue to print money and print more money and more money and more money and more money. And we're going through that already. We have a debt ceiling crisis in the U.S., right? We spend way more than we earn, and if we can't raise the ceiling, well, then everything shuts down and we're in total disaster. So, of course, the ceiling is going to be raised, and that means the irresponsibility of the Fed and the government will continue on, and that means more money is going to be printed and cause more inflation over time and rob people of their buying power. So people are fed up, right? So this is also just driving more people to Bitcoin, ultimately, right? As more people learn about this, and many people have, they'll just like, I can't trust anything. I can't trust anything that the Fed and the Treasury Department or the governments do, because they're just being irresponsible, really extremely irresponsible. So that is why. Hey, here. Oh, here's a good chart. Here's a good chart of your buying power being robbed. Okay. Something that was $25 back in 1910 has become under $1. Okay, so that's inflation. That's inflation in a nutshell. Your buying power decreases, and it's been decreasing more and more and more. And pretty soon this will be decreasing to a point where it's, you have money just flowing out, money just sitting on the streets, like what you see in Argentina and other hyperinflated countries. This is why we need to flock to Bitcoin and crypto, right? Last two things. I see this supply last active. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year. Pretty much all the colors have been going up and up and up, right? More so recently. And that's good, because more and more people want to hold Bitcoin because of everything I just said, right? So this is really good. And this is just showing you how our current recovery is so similar to all previous recoveries. Nothing recovers linearly forever. There will be some setbacks. There will be more volatility, but we are definitely on our way to recovering. So there you go. There you go. All right, guys. That is pretty much it. The U.S. market has turned barely green. Barely green. We'll see what happens tomorrow with the big CPI reading, right? But right now, Gary is attacking crypto. First staking, now attacking stablecoins. Someone needs to put a stop to this. All right, let's do some Q&A. All right, sorry, scrolling here. I saw someone with a very short vision say, "Yay, Gary, go attack crypto. We only want Bitcoin." So here's the thing, okay? Gary's not gonna stop, right? Let's just say in a perfect world, for Gary, that he shuts down everything except Bitcoin. You really think he's just gonna stop there? You don't think that innovations that's happening on Bitcoin will be seen as securities, right? Here's the thing, like, he's really stayed away from Bitcoin itself because he declares that as commodity, but what about everything else that's being built on Bitcoin? What about Lightning Network, which is a layer 2? And it can be seen as a money transmitting service. And there's a lot of rules around that, right? Does he go after the Lightning Network? Does he go after, say, Stacks, which is programming smart contract dApps on top of Bitcoin? Does he go after, I don't know, the wallet makers that can actually hold on Bitcoin, right? So that's the thing. You don't want to be short-sighted, okay? Gary's doing no one favors. If you think doing all of this only helps Bitcoin, once he has eliminated everything, he's going to be attacking Bitcoin. So no one should be cheering Gary for anything at this point because he's not protecting anyone. He's protecting himself and his power, basically. All right. Let's see. I'm still scrolling here. This reminds me of the movie Independence Day. Dude, I hope not. All these alien sightings. Not alien sightings, UFO sightings. I don't know what's going on with them. Gary's protecting his Goldman buddies. Probably. NFL is fixed. Did you guys make it? I didn't care either way who won, but it was an exciting game though. It's a pretty good back and forth game, high scoring, not a low scoring game. It's good. With all the Fed FUD, LQTY has gone up. Small cap, but TVL looks undervalued. Offers decentralized stablecoin. We'll love your thoughts. I'm just going to say no because it's a stablecoin issuer. So no. There's a lot of stablecoin issuers that are smaller, but no one trusts them. And after this recent ruling, no. Miles, you said that before. I don't know what that means exactly, nor is that true, but I get it. NMCT, I'm in charge of and open a medical department every morning. My patients and I listen to you every morning. Thanks for being part of our morning routine. Thank you. And to everyone that's watching. Why did altcoins sell off? Only because BIUSD news doesn't make quite any sense to me. Well, it's not just this. Just remember, just a few days ago, we had staking removed from Kraken. That's two big things. So Gary's going after staking and going after stablecoins now. I mean, these are two big things in crypto. And plus, Bitcoin also went down. I mean, Bitcoin is 21.6, 21.7, so all of it added together. Oh, ouch. We're below $1 trillion again. We were like, holding at 1.2, 1.02, 1.01. Now we're below a trillion. No good. Look at Binance sell off today. Wow, Binance sold off. What's more amazing is Polygon selling off 9% today. That makes no sense at all. But yeah, you have a red day today for sure. Cosmos, Chainlink, 5%. Lido is down 11%. Wow, I don't know why. Hedera down 11%. These were high movers before. The graph was pumped up by AI stuff recently. I think there's just a lot of fear again. Bottom line. I can't afford a ledger yet. Should I move my cryptos from Binance to a Trust Wallet or wait 2 more weeks? It's up to you. Trust Wallet, just so you know, is owned by Binance. But I've been using them for years and they've been pretty good. So you could wait another 2 weeks or just transfer it now, and then you could transfer it again from Trust Wallet to Ledger. All right. Do I still believe in Cadena? Yes. I've been asked that many times. Yes. What does it mean for Cody? It's not a good ruling for any stablecoin maker. Let's just put it that way. I don't believe Cody is in the U.S. though. They may be, but I don't think they're in the U.S. And theirs is algorithmic stablecoin. And I've always said that from the beginning. I think it's great that there is a native stablecoin now. Not native, but at least a stablecoin for Cardano. But all these issuers of stablecoins, they have to watch out because the SEC is going to go after them. If they're in the U.S., they will be scrutinized by the SEC for sure. So I don't actually know if Cody is in the U.S. or not. If they are, DJED will be looked at for sure, but I don't think they are. Jolamas, maybe I'm thinking about this wrong, but I have no problem with Gary pushing for staking transparency from centralized players. This could prevent Celsius Voyager. What's the issues? Because you're confusing the two together. Celsius, Voyager, and others, they didn't stake. They just gave you rewards because they lent out your crypto. These staking rewards are passed on from the chains themselves. For example, Cosmos gives you staking rewards. Avalanche gives you staking rewards. Polygon gives you staking rewards. These are the same staking rewards you would get if you use their native wallets, okay, the wallets they produced, and you stake, and they give you staking rewards for helping power the network. These centralized exchanges are doing the same thing and basically passing rewards to you, and maybe collecting a little bit of that just because, they want to profit a little bit for helping you, do this. So there's a big difference between the two. Many people like yourself will think staking is all the same. It's not. It's not. I guess if you want to look at it from like a stock perspective, I guess staking rewards is almost like, it's not the same, but the closest thing I could think of is like dividends, right? It's like, well, if you held on to Apple, they give you dividends every quarter, right? And if you held Apple, let's say, in your own wallet, you get dividends straight into your wallet. I know this doesn't exist for stocks, but I'm trying to make it so that people can understand. But now, let's say, I don't know, Charles Schwab holds your Apple shares, and now you get a dividend, and Charles Schwab gives the dividend to you, right? But now the SEC is suing Charles Schwab for basically passing the dividends to you, which is, in this case, passing staking rewards to you from Kraken or Coinbase. So that's the best way to think about it. They're just the middle guy passing what you're supposed to get anyways. So this is different than what Celsius and Voyager did. Very different. Should I learn chart? Miles, yes. Go ahead and learn TA if you can. It doesn't hurt. Rudy says former CPI numbers are revised to the upside, meaning inflation is decreasing slower than expected. How will this influence behavior of the markets? Well, it's going to influence it a lot. If it comes out worse than expected, it's going to be absolutely horrible, right? So people are pinpointing like Switzerland right now as example, how in January their inflation like shot back up. If tomorrow we see something similar where we don't go lower, well, let's bring it up. What's the expectation for tomorrow? Tomorrow, here, CPI is expected to drop from 6.5% down to 6.2%. If we don't hit 6.2, if we hit 6.3, 6.4, right? Even though we're going down, but it didn't meet expectations, that would be bad for the market. If we hit that and exceed it, like meaning we go to 6.1 or 6, the market's going to rally hard, right? But the worst case scenario is not only do we not go down, but inflation stays the same or goes up. If we get a reading like it went up to 6.6% tomorrow, we will see like the worst sell-off we've ever seen in a long time. It would be absolutely disastrous because all the hope of a pivot or just rate hike stopping, right? Powell becoming dovish just all goes out the window. So tomorrow will be pretty big. Is Binance still scheduled to buy Voyager? Yep. They actually want you to opt in. I got some email or something that says you have to start a Binance.us account, and if you have one, you have to opt in. And once you opt in, all your Voyager assets will be transferred to your Binance.us account. Seems like they're preparing for that. I don't know when, but they're going to make it happen soon. Have you seen Roush F-150, the recent one? No, I've seen plenty of ones before. Ford is not the worst truck to buy. If you think so, then then you haven't really checked out any of the other trucks. Phil, how's this bad? We know regulations coming. Crypto goes lower as a result. Fill our bag, stake on our own rather than do on exchanges. Yeah, that's looking at it glass half full. I mean, there's no other way to look at it. But you don't want to see SEC shut down every single innovation that's happening in this space. Because if we just let this slide and no one fights back, then he's going to be attacking everything. Soon wallets. Maybe Trust Wallet, Ledger. He goes after these companies for storing what he deems as securities. Maybe he goes after projects for offering native staking to power the network and says, well, you can't do that because that makes you guys a security, right? So you don't want him to keep going. We need some pushback. Otherwise, he could just keep carrying this until he destroys everything, in the U.S. at least. And then there will be zero innovation in the U.S. And it will be illegal to even have your own wallet, right? So, yeah, you can't just say, oh, yeah, this is all a good thing, and let's just let it slide. I mean, this is still, we want to see at least guys in the industry you know, the ones that have the resources and means to fight back. And this is the same with Bitcoiners. Bitcoiners will argue, oh yeah, let the SEC attack everything. Just wait until the SEC attacks things that also affects Bitcoin. You don't want to wait for that to come. Ghost Medic, you know what's going to happen with Rivian? Basically, Amazon is going to buy out that company and use them to create electric trucks. That's it. Rivians cannot produce or sell enough trucks or SUVs to survive. That's the bottom line. They're selling 70, 80,000 plus trucks and SUVs. In this market, they will not survive. The only reason why they have brand recognition and their stock is so high is due to Amazon. That's it. So I think Amazon eventually is going to buy them out. You got some Gary Gensler fans in the house? Well, I mean, I don't think they're fans. I think, I don't know. You know, the best way to look at things is, yes, we are driving more people to DeFi, right? Which is good. And since crypto is not just US based, right, there will be a lot more innovations going offshore to other countries. So if you live in one of those countries, that's great. But, you know, in the US, we don't want to just give up, right? We don't want to just see Gary roll over everything and continue his onslaught. You know, so I'm glad Brian is standing up. I hope all these guys, you know, they could stand together and fight together, you know, to make them stronger. Thoughts on Fisker? I don't even know what's going on with Fisker anymore. You know, they went bankrupt, they got bought by someone else, and now they're coming back and creating like SUVs again. I don't know what's going on with Fisker. I have not been paying attention to them. Samuel says, I don't trust CZ. He says, stop the FUD, but come on, man. Explain the accusations and don't try to fool people. Well, it seems like I agree with you, but it also sounds like you just don't know what you're talking about, to be honest. What accusations? That stablecoins are security? Paxos creates BUSD for Binance. Okay, they're the ones ultimately responsible, but Binance, of course, asked them to do that. But in this case, there is nothing other than if you think stablecoins are securities, then yeah, shut down stablecoins. Another reason why the government wants to shut down stablecoins, if you think about it, is because they are trying to prepare for CBDCs. The Fed is preparing a digital dollar, okay? And other countries around the world is preparing to come out with their own digital equivalency of their fiat currency. So another reason why you want to get rid of stablecoins is there's less competition. So, Samuel, that's the reason, okay? So, I know people love to spread FUD about CZ and Binance because they feel like you have to attack the top people. The top people, you know, all of them are bad, right? No, that's not the reason. That's not a good reason, I should say. But yeah, this is plain and simple. SEC attacking someone they feel like they can win against. That's Paxos, and ultimately this gives them closer to basically dominating every aspect of crypto. I was driving a Fisker in Detroit yesterday. What, do you work for Fisker? Do you work for an automotive manufacturer? What time does CPI data? It should be bright and early, like around 7:30, something like that. 7:30, 8 o'clock. So CPI reading will be very early, before the market bell, for sure. Which stablecoin are you holding? USDC. USDC. I've always said this. USDCs, in my opinion, is the most trustworthy because they are in the US and the biggest one in the US, right? USDT, can't trust them. And now you can't use BUSD. Well, I mean, you can still use them for like at least a year or so, but they're going away. So really what it comes down to is USDC. DXY making lower highs. Crypto limbo, what's going on? You know, there is a big correlation with DXY. See, look at this, right? This yellow line is DXY. So DXY bottomed here. That's when, you know, Bitcoin topped out. It started climbing up. Bitcoin started coming down. And right now it's climbing up a little bit more at 103, and Bitcoin's not doing very well right now either. So there's like a inverse correlation there. Obviously with Bitcoin, there's with altcoins specifically, there's a little bit more decorrelation, I guess, from the DXY due to all the FUD that's been happening. But as for Bitcoin itself, there's a big correlation with DXY right now. Coinbase needs to buy Kraken. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. I don't know they want it. There's no synergies there. They already do everything that Kraken does, Coinbase does already. So I don't think that's going to help them. I don't know much people that use Kraken. You know, I hardly ever talk to anyone that say, yeah, I use Kraken. Almost everyone uses Coinbase or Binance.us. Right? A few using Gemini, but very rarely do I encounter anyone saying they use Kraken. BlackRock invest in USDC. That is correct. That is correct. U.S. market is actually doing pretty good. Tesla's been selling off. Last Friday they sold off. Now they sold off another 4%. Coinbase is still selling off. Man, Coinbase just hit 70 recently. Now it's down to 54. Ouch. So what's MicroStrategy probably down too. Not that much. I think it's a good day. Good day to be DCing into some Coinbase and Tesla. But tomorrow we'll see. I'm actually quite surprised the market is in the green because tomorrow there's a lot of fear about what's going to be announced tomorrow with the CPI reading. So I'm actually quite surprised. Why is nobody regulating Gary? And who is supposed to regulate him and his actions? You know, I wonder that myself. I guess Congress is supposed to regulate him, but they're so busy worried about the debt ceiling and stuff. They don't really care about Gary. President Biden, he has no clue about crypto and Bitcoin. I mean, that's for sure. So that's why no one is regulating Gary. Because Congress is too busy and our president has no clue about it. So that's why the CFTC tried to push back a little bit, saying that they want to be the crypto watchdog, but no one's hearing that because, again, Congress is too busy. So that's why no one is policing the police in this point. At this point, which is no one's really policing the SEC. Yeah, even that one commissioner labeled crypto mom, Hester Pierce, I think. Is it? I forgot her name, but she works in the SEC. She's a commissioner. She's one of the top dogs in the SEC, and she even said the SEC is lazy and overstepped, and they should have never stopped. First of all, she's been saying that they should allow a Bitcoin ETF a long time ago. Still hasn't happened. Okay, and they should have never stopped the staking service. They should have tried to regulate it, but not kill it from cracking, right? I wonder what she has to say about, I think her name is Hester Pierce, about what, about this whole thing with Paxos and stablecoins. Do you think KD and the Suns will win it all? Usually when you just put together a super team like that on the fly, it doesn't work. So, but Suns, I don't know. Maybe this will get them over the hump. They could defeat Giannis and the Bucks. I don't know. Maybe. We're trying to get a 2% inflation, unemployment still good. Do you think Powell will go back to 50 basis points in a shock and awe tactic? No, unless tomorrow's inflation reading is bad. If it's bad or very bad, then yes, the next one will be 50 basis points for sure. But if it's still showing that inflation is going down significantly, then he's probably going to just do another 25 basis points in March and call it a day. And that's it. But if it's bad, and somehow now it's speculating that it can be bad, then he's going to raise rates again, for sure. It doesn't it doesn't matter how many rings KD wins from that here on out. No one would consider him the GOAT ever. No one will even probably consider him in the top 10 ever. Because all his rings will have asterisks next to him. Every single one. So KD's a great player, but he's mentally weak and he has no faith, no conviction. He would be a terrible Bitcoiner. He would just jump ship as soon as some troubled waters hit, basically. So that's how I feel about KD. All right, guys. Let's call it a day, or at least a stream. Tomorrow, big inflation data. So let's see how that turns out. But man, I'm losing my voice. But today, the big FUD has to be the SEC again. Now attacking stablecoins. Okay? Absolutely horrible that now they're trying to deem that somehow stablecoins are considered securities, which makes no sense at all. But it makes sense when you consider that the Fed is trying to come out with their own digital dollar. So maybe that has a lot to do with it. But also, this has a lot to do with Gary just basically spreading fear because he can, taking control and taking power because he can. No one is stopping him at this point, so why not? Keep going, right? We need some good actors to step up and fight this and fight the SEC before all innovation is, and all of crypto really, is kicked out of the U.S., right? So stay strong, my friends. I know it could be bleak sometimes, but stay strong. We will get past this. And I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.